last week we talked about slopes and the 4 different types of slopes that you can have. And again, slope refers to the steepness of a line. Okay, so the 4 types of slopes we have, just quickly to review, are your positive slopes. And again, positive slopes go uphill. Okay, they're heading up. Negative slopes are heading down. They're heading downhill. Okay. Then you have your 2 special types of slope. Zero slopes are horizontal lines. Okay, they go across like this. Undefined slopes are vertical lines, and they go up and down. Okay, so what we're going to do today is, instead of just saying it's a positive slope or it's a negative slope, we're actually going to calculate and give a number value to the slope. So we could say, yeah, it's positive, but it's a positive 3. Or it's a negative slope, but its value is actually a negative 1/3. Okay, so in order to do that, we're just going to take the worksheet that you guys had to do last week, and all you had to do was say if it was positive or negative. And we're going to take that same sheet and we're going to calculate the slope. It's very simple to do. Okay, the 2 things that you have to think about are 2 words: rise and run. Okay, rise, think about the sun rising. The sun, well, technically the sun doesn't move, we move, but the sun goes up and down. Okay, run, when you run side to side. You don't run up or down, you run side to side. So these 2 things are going to help us calculate slope. Okay, again, rise up and down, run side to side. Now the first couple examples are pretty nice because they've given us 2 points on the line. Okay, they've given us a point here and a point here. All we have to do is we have to connect those 2 points with a triangle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is from this point I'm going to move down, and from this point I'm going to move across like this so that it forms a right triangle. Okay, once you have your triangle, all you need to do is calculate or count. So when I calculate the rise, okay, I'm calculating on my triangle the up and down part. So this part right here has a value of 1. The run is side to side. So that's 1, 2, 3. That has 3 boxes. So the run is 3. So then all I do is I put that into a fraction. My rise is 1. My run is 3. So now I've calculated the value of that slope. The slope is 1/3. The other thing that you have to keep in mind is what you learned last week. See how this line is going downhill? Okay, that means the slope is going to be negative. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick a negative sign out in front. So now you have calculated your slope, and your slope is 1/3. Okay, all right, let's try another one. Let's move over here to number 2. Okay, all right, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to calculate the rise over the run. Okay, we're going to take our 2 points that they've given us, and it doesn't matter where you make your triangle. You can make it on top like this, or if you want to do it on the other side, you can do it on the other side. That's fine. They're both going to give you the same answer. Okay, let's calculate the green one. So our rise, oops. Let me blow that up back up again here, sorry. Okay, our rise is 1, 2, 3. Okay, our run is 1. Okay, so let's put that into our formula here. Our rise is 3, our run is 1. Now that's the same, 3 over 1 is the same thing as 3, and our line is going uphill, so it's just going to stay positive. So our slope here is 3. Now, if you wanted to do it on the other side, the red side, can you still do the same thing? Your rise, 1, 2, 3. Your run, is 1. You still get the same, so it doesn't matter what side of the line you put your triangle. Okay? All right, let's try another example here. Switch over here to number 3. Okay. So again, let's go rise over run. Okay, before we calculate, let's determine, is our slope positive or negative? Well, if you're walking this way and you come to your line and it's going downhill, so that's going to be negative. So I'm going to go ahead and put my negative out front. Then I'll put my fraction there. Okay, so let's take our 2 points here and here, and let's make our triangle. Okay. All right, so our rise, 1, 2, 3. Our run, 1, 2. Let's plug in. Rise is 3. Run is 2. So our slope is a negative 3 over 2. Okay, and you can leave it just like that. All right, let's move over here to number 4. Let's change colors here. Let's do purple. Okay. Again, we're going to go rise over run. And there's a couple ways to calculate slope. If they give you a graph like this, to me, this is the easiest. It's the quickest. Let's look, is it positive or negative? Well, if you're walking and you come this, you've got to go uphill. This is a positive slope. So we don't need to worry about putting a negative out front there. Okay, let's do our triangle here. I'm going to come over. We're going to go up so they meet and form a right triangle. Our rise, 1, 2, 3. Our run is 2. So rise, 3, run, 2. There's our slope. Okay. All right, let's see what we got. Let's look at number 6. Okay, rise, run. Okay, so they've given us 2 points here. Let's make our triangle. This one's a bigger triangle. This one's a little steeper. All right, so again, do you see how we come across until the 2 lines meet? And again, it forms this nice right triangle. Okay, first of all, it is positive because again, if we come and we walk, we're gonna have to go uphill. So that's positive. All right, let's calculate our rise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our rise is 7. Our run, 1, 2, 3. So our slope, 7/3. Okay. Let me go back. I want to show you something if I can. Let me find one that'll work. Let's go back to, let's look at this example right here. Let's go back to number 2. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to erase this work. Oops. Maybe. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to pick 2 different points because the line changes at the same rate the whole way up. It doesn't get flatter at one point. So technically, we should be able to pick 2 points on this line and our slope still stay at 3. So let's do another 2 points. We're going to keep that up here because so we know it's 3. I'm going to pick this point, and here's a point right here. And I'm going to calculate the slope there. So let me draw my triangle. Our rise is 3. Our slope is 1. Well, look at that. It's the same. Let's do another one. Let me pick another 2 points. Let's do this one and this one. Here's our triangle. 1, 2, 3. Our run is 1. So again, if we have rise over run, still 3 over 1. So technically, you can pick any point you want to along this line, And your slope is still going to stay 3. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Okay? Because it stays the same steepness all the way through. It doesn't start coming up like this and then all of a sudden get flatter. If that was the case, that would not be a linear function that we've been talking about. So technically, you don't have to use the points they give you, but in this case, it is a little easier. It's one less thing you have to worry about. All right, let's try one more example. I think we can do number 5 over here. Okay. So let's pick, they've picked our 2 points. And let's calculate our slope. Let's draw our triangle. Okay. So we need rise over run. So let's calculate our rise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's calculate our run. 1, 2, 3. A lot of 3s today. Okay, there's our slope, and it is positive because you're walking this way and it heads uphill. So that's basically how you calculate slope. To me, this is the easiest way to calculate slope if they've given you a graph. There is another way called the slope formula that we will probably discuss. I don't know if we'll get to it this year or not. But anyways, what I want you to try to do, I know it's hard because you don't have this printed off. Can you guys try to calculate 7 and 8 and see how you do? Okay, and again, this worksheet is posted on your Math 2 page, or if you want, you can take a screenshot of this. Let me move it. There's 7, and then here's 8, or you can just pause the video and try it that way. Okay.